to the live stream. Hopefully everything is timing out okay. It's looking like I'm on a couple of platforms here. Doesn't look like Facebook is going to connect today. So I guess we'll just cancel that. And yeah, I don't know what happened with that. So we'll remove that. All right. So today we're going to talk about just, I thought some scale type things, discuss that a little bit, some approaches, and then talk a little bit about recent tunes and any questions you all have. Had some really great questions last week about intervals on Bright Size Life, and had a little bit about this 313, which I did a little research on that over the week and got a little more familiar with that concept. What I'll start with is some of the benefits of the complexities of the guitar. Hey Jeffrey, good morning. Welcome. So, we have this this whole system, of basically like kind of in a sense 6 different instruments. Let's see if we can get that light block there. Right? And so you can almost think of them as voices. And when you go to play melodically, you switch from one voice to the next. So if you've ever seen anyone playing, or any group playing something like church bells, you have one person that's in charge of maybe 2 notes. And so when their note comes up, they ring it in there. So, but it ends up being a continuous, melodic line that just gets kind of passed from person to person. So when we play melodically on the guitar, you might use that as a perspective on it. Traditionally, I would say definitely have a solid foundation in this. We have the 5 fingerings. So that's one of the 5 fingerings. That would be key of C major there. But you work within a certain range of tones that are available. So even though C is our, let's say, our tonic there, that we're perceiving as our tonic, then have some lower notes within range, right? Over here, C becomes already kind of one of the lower notes, right? So having a strong foundation in the 6 fingerings is really, really crucial. I would say it helps you map out the neck. And I released a video on Wednesday, and this is something I plan to do regularly. Just kind of going over one of these concepts. I did a video on the scales and different combinations of notes that you could take from basically one of these strings to the next, right? And one thing I'd really recommend there is to really work at hitting it from different angles, right? You do the 5 fingerings, have that, and have that intention when you're practicing of going, well, okay, what am I working on here, right? Working in a range, right? Trying to imprint where the note locations are, right? And then when it comes to creating melodic lines, maybe focus more on a smaller number of tones and then how it relates to a chord. But let's get back to this note combination thing per string. Hi, Eric. How's it going? Good morning, Jeffrey. Yeah. So if you take, and I did a short video on this. If you take a pentatonic scale and you go, let's say 3 notes on string 6, 1 note on string 5, and then 3 notes on string 4, then that's kind of that concept, right? So one of the things that is so beneficial about guitar is the phrasing options. You know, we have a lot of these complexities as far as these 5 fingerings and redundant tones on the neck. So we take advantage of how that kind of works in our favor. So we can play 2 notes per string, like the pentatonics often do, or pretty much always do. I mean, as long as you're in a position, and then do the 3, 1. That kind of breaks you out of that, right? So that you can create some other phrasing options, right? You can slide, hammer, and all of those types of things. In the video on Wednesday, I focused a little more on 7-note type scales, and so taking those from different angles, right? Taking I think I focused on G major, focusing on going over 2 notes per string, and noticing the current, or where that takes your hand positions, and that can really help to strengthen those 5 fingerings, because you're moving from one to the next, and so you have to quickly really try to register, what the next one is. All right, so I might do a little noodling here. I mute my mic and remind folks to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll be hanging out here. Love to know what you're working on. What is interesting you all out there, practice, and you're playing. Okay, now what I am doing here is playing around a little bit with chord changes, and this is a great activity that you can do in your session. So if you're maybe used to playing with iReal Pro or Brandon Box or something, spend a little time doing changes without any backing tracks, and see if you can direct the ear to the changes. And we can, of course, work with arpeggios to accomplish that, but we want to keep this constant awareness of chord scales that go beyond maybe 4 notes, so we can build in a variety of intervals in our lines. Okay, Eric asked, it has dawned on me, while I like your tone and playing, it sounds a lot like Jim Hall. Does he influence you at all? Yeah, absolutely. Jim Hall. I really love his playing. I love his tone, absolutely. And I like his content, his playing, and his taste. Ability to develop ideas and play thematically. So yeah, I would say most definitely. Another, so pretty heavily influenced by Jim Hall, and I'll say I went through a bit of a period where I really dove into Bill Evans's trio playing, and in the process of that, I got into some of his duo albums with Jim Hall, and I think they also did a quartet or quintet album, if I recall correctly, which I really enjoyed as well. But yeah, absolutely love Jim Hall, and he was influential, an influence on Pat Metheny as well, right? So I taken a lot of influence from Pat Metheny, and so I think it follows that. That's exactly right, Art Farmer. Yes, that's correct. Um, I love that. I love that album. I remember really kind of overplaying that, maybe if that's even possible. But yeah. So that sort of lineage. Of course, Matheny was influenced by other folks, but I think that's one of the the beauties of playing an instrument. You kind of take your own personal taste, but you also, I'm sure you probably found that too, where you take some influences. You say, well, I really like what that person did, or that tone and all that. So yeah, absolutely. Over many years, I really worked at focusing on the history of jazz guitarists, and and trying to follow that lineage. Yeah, exactly, and then make it your own. Yeah, so yeah, and Eric, I think I may be doing Bright Side's Life as my next video, because I've been meaning to update the my lesson video on that, and it's such an important tune to me that I really want to get on that. Yeah, exactly. So playing a little on that whisper knot by Benny Golson. He has got such really great material. I mean, melodically and harmonically, it's really kind of cool. But we get this little concept here where we kind of roll along with these little chains of chords and motion of the bass line, right? So let's say we had something like C minor way up here in 15th position, and do an inversion, of that, the third inversion, and then A minor 7, flat 5, right, to maybe D7, and then kind of go through that same, you'll see the same process as you work down the strings, right? And then that's where it kind of breaks that pattern we go into. This is really kind of a neat motion I find at the end of the A sections too, because we get this little kind of working up, and this tone becomes the flat 9. Strikes me as just being really clever, just to do this little stepwise walk up, right? So pretty kind of cool. And then the second A kind of go to the B flat, so it's pretty cool. Eric says, yeah, I like the bridge of Killer Joe. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that one is it's so interesting. It's incredibly interesting, and to take the melody of it too, and just the half steps and the whole steps on that, and how he fit the chords with all that. It's really really pretty cool. Yeah, that moving minor 7, you create a little motion by, C minor, and then, or C minor 7, and then, same chord really, but it creates movement, right? So root position, third inversion, and what's kind of cool about this is you get 3 of the 4 notes are the same between C minor and the A minor 7 flat 5. So that's kind of a cool little concept, going from let's say we're way down here. I think I talked about this on my podcast earlier this past week, maybe on Thursday. So you get C minor here in position 4 over the B flat on string 6. Yeah. And then you can keep that C minor when you go to the A minor 7 flat 5. Just rearrange the fingers. Right. And then, the dominant to the dominant. Yeah, I think you're talking about this part. Yeah, it becomes a 2/5. Yeah. I love this bridge so much, that was fun to kind of put together some of those articulations from the from the recording and all that. Yeah. Welcome, Drew. How are you doing? So I'm thinking the last couple of melody videos I've done over the last couple of weeks have been a little bit on the challenging side. So, and I think if I do, which I'm pretty sure I will, if I do Bright Size Life this week, that's also going to be a challenging one, but I think just tempo wise, and also that that middle section. I'm gonna have to go back and listen to that bridge too, because I believe the original recording he plays those notes, and then I think more recently he's been playing these notes, which is just one note difference here on string 2. So I'll have to go back and just kind of confirm that, but really kind of challenging picking things too. If you're skipping strings, if you could do this one, right? So skipping over strings and all that. So okay, well, I'm gonna do maybe a little more noodling around, and please do think of any questions. It was tremendously helpful last week to hear some questions, and maybe maybe I'll go over that 3-1-3 concept here in a minute. I think Jeffrey was asking about that last time, if I'm not mistaken. But just kind of point out how incredibly helpful it is for me to hear a few things that folks are interested in, because then I can try to put together a video this midweek, and some of the podcasts I'll cover some of these concepts and stuff. So, but in the meantime, I'm gonna do a little noodling around here. Okay, so noodling around there a little bit with the Bright Size Life, just kind of exploring the changes there a little bit. So yeah, the 3-1-3. I did a little investigation on that, and as far as I understand, you have the idea of taking a scale, whether it's a pentatonic or a 7-note scale or whatever it is, and using at least 2 strings. As far as I understand, you'd have to use at least 2 strings on this concept. So, which is good, because when playing changes, it's nice to focus on 4-note combinations. So if you're playing, let's say, I'll stick with kind of G major type thing. So if you're playing, let's say, from G here on string 4 fret 5, you just kind of walk up the scale, and then you play your next note on the next string. So, and I believe what that does, or the motivation behind doing that, is to work out some both phrasing and to get things to work naturally on the picking, and then as well as just breaking out and moving more horizontal. That could be helpful as well. So, so instead of going like that 2 per string, then you could do like, it opens up the opportunity to do a slide on these 2 notes. So you could do that, and then you could maybe start on A and then try do the same thing and walk up walk up the scale and do 3 per string. So then that gives you a slurred tone in the middle, right? Because otherwise you could do slurred tones on the beginning and the second half of your 4-note string combination. So you could do hammer, hammer. You could do hammer, 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 hammer. Right, let's go here one more. So hammer, hammer like that. So it opens up different phrasing options. So right, like that, and then where do we end up? We gotta start there. Okay, so then we have here. So it'll be, kind of a thing that will really open up, the neck, and that's one thing I've talked a lot about with also on the live stream, but also with private students, is just moving horizontally on the neck, and just take a look at Wes Montgomery. When I really heard, I had been listening to Wes Montgomery for quite a while. When I kind of got more access to video footage, probably thanks to YouTube. I was really a little blown away at how he's just moving like this. He's a lot, not exclusively, but just moving very horizontally, and it really impacted me. So I really focused my attention on breaking out of some of these boxes, and that really can restrict your phrasing choices. So, but they're so important to know, right? The 5 fingerings and stuff. Okay. Eric says, yeah, that's cool. So many permutations. Probably good ear practice. Don't lock into pattern. Yeah, that's exactly, some of the benefits of that. Let your ear guide it, and phrasing will improve. Yeah, phrasing. And I would say I really, in that period of time where I did really try to move more horizontally, it did seem like phrasing sounded more natural and at ease, because you get locked into one position, and it's you kind of limited on picking versus not picking. So yeah, the 1-3-1-3 concept. Try it on 2 individual strings and move it around. That's a little tricky part there, right? So yeah, and just kind of get you moving this way. And at first it might feel like a lot of mental gymnastics, because you have to kind of recall where you are and stuff on the neck and everything. Okay, everybody. Reminder to like and subscribe, and check out our merch store down below the video. Got some books and mugs and stuff. What I need to start doing, I think, is doing a little coupon code. I've seen Rick Beato do kind of that, so maybe I need to get that. I think that's not too hard to set up or anything. All right, let's see. So Drew, acoustic playing, releasing some solo material. Very cool. Awesome. Yeah, thanks for joining. Yeah, no, just some things on all this this the scale stuff. Like I said, a couple takeaways from this talk. Try to hit it from different angles. Do like I said, two per string. Move like that. Do three per string, which will get you kind of sent in the other direction. I think I talked about doing four per string, which will send you further up. But try, doing, set your intention. When you're practicing. Like, am I working at really going around the neck? Then yeah, do a bunch of exercises that will get you moving this way and that way. Am I, trying to work at lines? Um, then you might try to pick more like go less range, right? Just like pick a group of four and maybe do another four or something like that, so that um, you have something to work from there. Jeffrey, you're most welcome on the 313 question. I ended up learning a lot. So that was pretty fun to do a little search on that and stuff like that. So, all right. So maybe I'll do a little more playing. I'll mute my mic here for a minute, and I'll be hanging out for about another 10-15 minutes. So if you have any additional questions, things that you'd maybe like me to touch on over the week, I'm going to be releasing podcasts on Mondays and Thursdays. So if it's kind of an ear training or ear kind of focused thing, I've been putting that into the podcast. And then things that need more visual attention, I've been putting a little bit more on the shorts, and then picking a midweek theme for a topic. So let me know what's on your mind this week. Play a little bit around with Mañana de Carnaval. Okay, so this brings up a little bit of thoughts on similar to Whisper Not, right? We have this motion in this tune, the second half, right? That goes in that similar direction. Now this part can go like this, or it can go. There are both kind of options. So that's a little interesting thing, that when you do study one thing, you end up learning other tunes essentially. Okay, Eric says classic jazz language, small phrases that get you in the door. I think like bebop and early jazz and jump blues. Yeah, that'd be cool. Some Jim Hall phrases, maybe Charlie Parker phrases. Yeah, absolutely. Here's kind of a cool little thing that you can do, which kind of has that sort of thing. So if you have a 5 of 1, you know, you can do a little. That's kind of a cliche sort of phrase. That's in kind of that area, I would say. So what you're kind of doing there is thinking D7, and you get this sharp 9, flat 9. So when I play, that's kind of where that's coming from. Okay, so then that would be kind of the D7, and then you get this. This is interesting because you could enclose the G major, right? So you could even do that. Doesn't exactly work out with the timing of it, but anyway. So you get this very kind of altered sound on it. Right. So that's a nice one if you want to just try something a little bit, get you started, but you'll hear that. So yeah, great. That does sound pretty cool. So I think I may follow through on that. Okay, the story. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Well, this is a improvisation, guitar and improvisation live stream. So, but welcome. Hopefully you can take some things from that. I don't know how much guitar is in BTS. I would say probably some funky rhythm guitar. Did a pretty cool Wes Montgomery intro too for the Round Midnight. I did a little bit of video going over that, and that has some nice lines too. But yeah, some Charlie Parker phrases would definitely be pretty cool, as well as Jim Hall. So I'll have to do a little searching on that. Oh, but speaking of popular music, wonder who's playing at the Super Bowl today. I have not even checked that out yet. We just had the Grammys, right? But we have a Philadelphia viewer here, I believe. So it's Philadelphia and Kansas City, right? I'm not a big sports fan, but I was hoping for the Ravens to make it, and they got fairly close. I'll mention too, folks, especially the some of our regular contributors or regular attendees. Go Eagles! Yeah, yeah. So I've got this website with all this interactive, really cool things from Sound Slice, and been making these exercises up, and I think we've got some really pretty cool things. It's still kind of in the works, but yeah. So the consultation is essentially we meet, and then I tell you a little bit about well, first I maybe do a little listening to your playing, or just any like questions or concerns, and then I kind of steer you in a direction on how to how you might want to proceed with your practice. So kind of point you in a certain direction. So that's kind of the thing. Yeah. So the website, I've got these things kind of behind the scenes when you log in and stuff. There are a few more things available. I have a foundations course that you automatically get into when you register. So but definitely get in touch, and we'll try to I can show you around that too on the consultation as well. So so Eagles won the Super Bowl on your 60th birthday. That's awesome. That's a nice birthday gift. Yeah, I've got some really exciting things on the website. I developed this application for studying the fingerboard, and I've used those in some of my earlier videos and stuff. And then I'm going to have some videos and member kind of live streams and stuff. So right now I've got it kind of I just opened it up to my private students. So anyone who takes private lessons, that will be kind of included in that whole thing. But I'm thinking I'm going to give folks like a big preview to that as well. So but pretty excited about it. I've been working on it for a little bit now. So we're getting close. All right, everybody. Well, I'm going to call it a day here for today. But yeah, if you are interested in the website and learning more about that, you can email me directly, jim@fretprints.com, and set something up. Well, thanks everybody. Good to see everybody, and yeah, I'm ready for the Eagles too. So go Eagles for me. Um, so, but yeah, I think they're both pretty good teams. We'll see what happens. All right, everybody. Have a great practice session. I'll see you all in the next one. Have a great day.